My name is Gökhan Ördek. I'm working with Dr. Sahin in this Brain Computer Interface Lab.
I'm one of the faculty in the department dealing with neural engineering research. I joined NJIT 2005 September. Almost 10 years, not quite, but almost.
This lab has mechanical and electronic engineers. Most of ours, like my friends, my colleagues here, has that kind of background.
Neural prosthetics became populated with people like myself who had engineering training, mostly biomedical or electrical engineering training, perhaps mechanical engineering, and there's also material science people as well in development of the electrodes. There's lots of different engineering fields who can contribute to this. As I was studying electrical engineering, I got very interested in living systems. The biggest excitement for me was that the language of neurons is actually electrical pulses. And you can, as an electrical engineer, you can actually simulate and use the same equations and formulas that you learn in your electrical engineering courses to understand the function or communication between these cells. So I decided to pursue my graduate studies in biomedical engineering, particularly in the field of neural engineering. As I learned more and more about the nervous system, I learned the electrical principles that governs the neural systems, which was very intriguing.
My project has a cerebellum oscillations. I'm mapping the cerebellum. It's already been done, but we are doing it a different way. We have a surface electrode, so we're trying to record the data potentials from the cerebellum surface in rats and trying to map it out in awake animals. Also trying to see how stability, like the somatotypy in motor cortex or sensory cortex, is there any somatotypy in cerebellum too?
We develop techniques to record from the spinal cord, from the cerebellum, different parts of the CNS, in order to learn about their natural, spontaneous activities and function.
We are looking at how the map and the signals are changing with the trauma. So if the cerebellum is kind of ignored over the time from the brain injuries, but it has a role. So right now we are investigating that part.
We developed a microstimulator that is a optically activated wireless microstimulator over the years. That became one of a major project in the lab. I started out with the functional electrical stimulation projects during my PhD years.
Most basic difference, like your first, second year PhD is like the master. You're taking the classes and everything, like a project, small projects. But if you're already, if you're assigned to PhD, like I didn't do master, so I got into a PhD program directly. So you know from the beginning, you know your PhD. So PhD project established that time. So that's why in my case, like I knew that PhD. That's the difference from PhD and the master project. Master project requires the longest one is 1 or 2 years. So that kind of a knowledge or that kind of a time consuming you have. That's why it needs to be a model. It needs to be a tool, something that you can design. But PhD is different. PhD project needs to be an investigation, a whole part of everything. You need to run that by yourself after some point. You need to also produce something, but not just one part. Master project requires just one part. Most of the master students in this lab I've seen over time, they did something for us, like a tool, a current voltage converter, those kind of designs they did for us. We use those for our project.
It takes so long to develop these projects, at least several years, if not 10 years old. So they're like, each of them is like a child to me.
My pursuit is going to be research. That's why I look forward to that. Also, if you love what you're doing, you want to go after that.
I think it was always in me. It took some years to discover it. But as I speak to my colleagues, sometimes they report to me similar things. I think when you are little, have a strong urge in you in a particular area, it comes up. It comes up. It may take some years, but it will eventually come up, I think. So that happened in my case, at least. I know that. In general, biomedical engineering is a very exciting and growing field. It's well recognized globally and nationally. I'm just, happy to be a part of that circle as a faculty. I enjoy teaching you guys that I think biomedical engineers will make a great contribution to human health in the coming years.